Alright, so I played Pirates on stream the other day. It would have been on Friday, and I was really set out to make the strongest Pirates deck that is playable in 10.4, and we were getting closer towards the end of the stream, but I did take some time outside of the stream and really perfect it. Came with a lot of trial and error, but when I put together this version here, I went 7 out of 8 games for a win. You could see here the only thing that was able to take us down was dwarfs, right? The elves stood no chance. All the monster decks going around right now. Mill didn't have a chance. I believe there was an assimilate in there as well, and Northern Realms Meave Swarm type thing. So we did pretty well with this. I'm really happy. That's about an 87.5% win rate based on the games that I played. I'm confident that as I continue to play, the results will stay consistent, right? I think this is a pretty good sample size for what we're doing with this exact list that I have here. And when we do get into the games, I'm going to have 6 games for you with live commentary for reference. And I'll even include the loss that we had so you could see what went wrong. And I just don't think that's going to be the matchup, right? And believe it or not, I haven't really been facing a lot of dwarves this season at this point. So I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for most people. I do think it's a winnable matchup. It's just a real nuisance with the armor. We have to get through a lot of that stuff. However, we can prevent ourselves from taking damage with all the armor that we have from their berserkers and stuff like that. So pretty much it. We'll go through the list here. We have Fukusha, deploy, play a Skellige unit from our graveyard with a provision cost of 10 or less and give it doomed. Then spawn rain in the opposite row with a duration equal to the unused provisions. So what we're looking for with Fukusha mainly would be maybe a boat in a long round, right? If we could put down Fukusha nice and early in a round 3, that's a long round 3, we'll get the 5 turns of rain, which could add up to about 10 damage, and we'll get a ping every time they play something, right? So this is going to help build up cards like the Terror of the Seas and give a lot of armor to the things in hand so that it can synergize better with Crack on Crate, right? So that's kind of the idea. Alternatives to Fukusha could be one of our discard cards like the Coral or the Burna if we have discard targets in hand like the Morkvark or the Skirmisher. And I'm also not opposed to pulling out something like the On-Crate Raider. I think that's a really good return if we're bringing something like that back as well. It's going to have Veterans, so it's going to be at 6 base power. And then, of course, we're having the ability to use the 2 damage on the order. So it helps extend removal, right? In some cases, you might even go for a lock. So that's pretty much what we have here. It's even possible to go Crack on Crate, but I like to kind of go for a bronze just because I like the rain value that we're getting with a card like that most often, right? But, you know, use your discretion. We've got lots of good 10s and 9s and 8s and all types of stuff. Really, you can't go wrong with Fukusha targets in this deck. It feels really good in that sense. We have Crack on Crate. The initial version didn't have it, the one that I played on stream, but I was starting to think maybe that this is something we could play. Now, it adds a little bit of tempo to our carryover plays, given that we can give 2 armor to 3 pirates or ships in our hand. Because we're running Ouroboros instead of like a skull or a tactical advantage, it's nice to be able to get the extra little pad on things like the On-Crate Longship to really get value throughout the round with these. A lot of decks right now have 4 or 5 power removal, so to be able to pad up a Raider in round 1's actually pretty valuable because now we can play it, we can float it, and we don't have to worry about it. And just things like the Diamond Longship, right? We can basically put armor on these and then, you know, use these to chip down other things and not have to actually take down our own base power. So really good synergy with that, but also the fact that this is a damage engine itself, and the fact that whenever we play a pirate or ship next to Crack, damage it and the lowest power enemy unit by each other's power. So if we're playing against a deck that has a lot of engines, I was thinking more like the Priestess matchup. Elves could actually be pretty good to clean up with this card here too. You have just a lot of stuff. The only thing I would imagine that would be a little bit difficult, of course, would be the Dwarves matchup. Death Wish would be a little bit troublesome because we don't want to start taking out their Death Wish units and proccing them. So you got to be careful if you're playing into those two, but pretty much anything else, right? Assimilate could get some pretty good value from playing this into that, right? Getting rid of some of their engines. I think it's just working out pretty well here. We have Nilfgaard for the tall punish, potentially too. Everyone's running Ring of Favor right now, so I feel like this is something that you want to run. Maybe previous versions I would have included something like the Turgvi, because it is a pirate as well. It does have veteran. Rupture is a pretty good swing, but I feel like with the amount of Purify going around right now, it just makes a lot of sense to put something like Nilfgaard in there. If we have armor on the Nilfgaard too, we could play it beside the Crack for the added synergy. Maybe we can actually bring something's base power down and kill it. Let's say they take something off Amphibious Assault, we can actually remove that in one turn if we sandwich this beside the Crack on Crate. So really cool stuff there. Because we have so much tempo with the discard package, because we have so much control and it's really hard for the opponent to keep engines on the board, we have AERONDIGHT. And I think AERONDIGHT's going to be better than Heatwave in this case because it has Echo, damage an enemy unit by 0, then boost the lowest power allied unit by the excess damage dealt. At the end of your turn, if you have more points than your opponent, increase the damage by 1 wherever the card is. So what I've found is that we can come out swinging early if we're on blue. We can really abuse the coin if we're on red, and we can make sure AERONDIGHT works. In one of the games that you're going to see today, I had AERONDIGHT at 17, okay? And you can just imagine like that as a last save finisher is just crazy, okay? I wouldn't sleep on it. I think that this is a really good application for AERONDIGHT. I'm skeptical about this card in general, but it found its place here, and I actually really like it because it can be used to keep one of our engines alive as well. We've got tons of engines, whether it be the longships, whether it be the other longships, whether it be the Holger, right? The Crack on Crate. There's a lot of things that we just want to keep floating. Coral. So that's kind of the idea. With the AERONDIGHT, of course, we get the boost too if we overkill, so it's not the end of the world. We have Coral, Burna for the discards. This one here is great. Whenever you discard a card, damage random enemy unit by 2. So you want to get this out preferably before you go play the Burna. The cards that you're looking to throw away would be the Morkvargs. It would be also the Tursic Skirmishers, or pretty much anything that we don't think is going to be useful in that matchup or in that round. So for example, we might be pulling into Gutting Slash against a matchup that has a lot of armor. We might be pulling into Tursic Invader in a matchup that has a lot more tempo. So maybe we can take cards like that and we can discard them. I'm not opposed to sometimes taking an on-crate Raider as a discard if it's like a round 1 and, you know, we can't get Zeal for it, so it becomes a little bit slow play towards the end of the round. So that's also another option there, right? The idea is just thinning out the deck. Junid's really good here, and I think Junid's better than Turgvi here because they have no chance to purify, right? All we do is take a ping off one of our boats, whether it's the longship, the other longship, whether it's a leader charge, whether it's a Crack on Crate, we just get that one ping out there, right? Maybe a Coral ping, maybe a Rain ping off Fukusha. And then we play Junid, it destroys the tallest unit. When we have a lot of like great swords going around, we've got a lot of like Raging Bears going around in the meta list, right? Stuff like this. Thing in a Box coming off the artifact here, right? Huge base power cards. If we're playing against Nilfgaard, we have Tibor at 13 power. There's tons of stuff going around. So to be able to remove that, but also to not feel bad about maybe removing something at 4 or 5 power if it's a very important engine. Let's say we're playing against vampires and they play a Fletter and then we hit it with a boat. And then they, you know, don't have bleeding there, for example. It's sitting there at 3. We might as well go take Junid off that because now we can prevent them from getting huge engine value off that one card and save the tall punishes for other reasons, right? So this works out quite well. I think non-devotion's the way with this list here because AERONDIGHT just seemed like such a good idea, and Herald didn't seem as worth it after playing a little while. And I love playing Herald, don't get me wrong, like one of my favorite cards for Skellige. I just love the swing with pulling back the Raider. But in this event, I felt like, listen, we go with cards like AERONDIGHT, we go with cards like Ring of Favor because they ultimately just play for more points, right? Ring of Favor to really secure a round 1 is massive, right? Playing this towards the end of the round makes the opponent lose on even 9 times out of 10. If they play their Ring of Favor as well, we've got Tall Punish, so we can basically combat that no problem at all, right? We have Holger as well, moving on in the list. Damage a unit by 2 when you play a ship, boost it by 1 when you play a pirate, deal 1 damage to a random enemy unit. So again, this card here synergizes with most of the deck. It synergizes with Crack, we have Morkvarg, we've got, if for whatever reason we play this one from hand, we've got Terror of the Seas, we've got all 4 boats, right? These two, just about everything that we're playing benefits Holger. So it just makes sense to have this card in here, right? We're not in Devotion, so we're not going to be looking for things like Scoia'tael, you know? If I was Devotion, even though it's more of a Pirates deck, I would consider something like this, but it just doesn't make sense here. And another thing that I thought about would be the Hammond, because Hammond just gets so good value, right? And deploy move a unit to the other row, give it bleeding 2, increase the bleeding 1 for every adjacent pirate. Like, this would be what I would put in the deck when they nerf Ring of Favor, because I'm expecting that they're going to nerf this card at some point. And at that point, I'm just going to make a substitution and put Hammond in. But for now, I think that we just keep things the way they are with this, right? Pretty much it. I want to get a little bit more thin. I think raiding fleet's important. We got so many boats, it just makes sense. It's a good tempo play. And we just get that there, raiding fleet for the boats. And Terror of the Seas, really cool card. So order lose all armor and damage an enemy unit by that amount whenever you play a pirate, gain 1 armor. So we're not going to be getting that passive. Like after we play it, the passive doesn't matter. What matters is accruing these armor counters while the card's in hand. So if you look at leader here, whenever an enemy becomes damaged, give 1 armor to all pirates and ships in hand. So whenever you see like the hammer hitting our hand, it's because we've damaged something for the first time, or we've just damaged something again after they boosted it, right? And it's red health now. So this card will gain 1 armor every single time that happens, and then we just hold on to this for late game and just get a huge removal, okay? And we don't damage ourselves, we just take off our armor. So this is something that you want to pull early game and you want to hold in hand early game. And if it means having to spend it as the last card in round 1, if they push you all the way, I guess that's fine. But ultimately, you want to save this card for as late as possible so you could take down the tallest unit possible. And it just works really well. But even if we only get like 5 armor on it, let's say we pull at the beginning of round 3, 5 armor, 5 base power, 10 for 7, but it's 5 points of removal reach, I think that's still amazing, right? It's kind of like Striga if you're playing monsters, but even then a little bit better, okay? Now, I don't expect us to be able to remove everything on the first turn that it's played, right? That's a little ambitious. I think that we have a lot of control, whether it be tall, whether it be wide, but having a lock for that one thing that we can't take care of makes a lot of sense to me. Jenge is that answer here. We have so many things that give pings that I think that we want to greed out the 1 extra base power here. Also, this card can be played off Fukusha worst case scenario, unlike other locks like the Regare, right? So this would be the alternative. Maybe if you don't have Jenge, you can just go put that there. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference for the deck, but ultimately I just want to have lock and I want to have that reach. And this is really good base power too. 7 base power, 6 provision, and a lock. So that's why I have it there. And pretty much it. Like we talked about most of the other stuff here. Veterans, this is just for basically the pirate tag. Also 7 points in round 3 is a pretty good card for 4 provision, so I don't feel bad about playing it then, really. But you can always just discard these and just have, you know, something that you can throw away if you need to throw away if you don't get your discard targets. So that's basically it here. I really like the deck. I'm probably going to play this deck if I'm looking to climb with Skellige, and this one's up there. You know, if I'm comparing this to Raid, I don't know which one would win because I've yet to see a mirror match, but I have to say this is very refreshing, and I think that we do have some advantages over Raid, and those come in with the non-devotion, right? Being able to really push them in round 1 because Raid plays a really slow round 1 is huge. This is the complete opposite, so I think that if we are playing against Raid Bog, we can bleed out some of the stuff like Iced and maybe even Herald in round 2, and in fact, this might be a favorable matchup. We even have Junid for the Jutta, right? So I think that this could be one of the stronger Skellige decks right now. I'd love to be able to see how this plays against a Siri Nova Golden Necker deck. I do think that this could beat that one as well. So that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoy the content that you see today, don't forget to sub to the channel. We're nearing 8K subs, and it's a goal of mine that I want to beat by mid-May. But for now, we'll get into the gameplay, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Alright, so we want to be on red coin here. I think it'd be better for us, right? Being able to really push. Let's see what we can do here. We definitely like ships. We definitely like Gutting Slash. We definitely like locks. It's probably going to be Morkvark for now that goes back. This is really good for round 1. I'm not seeing any discards at all. It's got to be. We got no discards on the draw. It's going to really affect tempo, right? It's 8 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm feeling pretty good. I edited this deck a little bit before bed last night, and I'm finding that it's feeling a little smoother than the stream yesterday. Actually, a lot smoother. And I was happy with it then, so that says a lot about it now. I played one game on my phone. I said I wouldn't play on my phone, but I reinstalled it because I really wanted to test it out. And it's looking pretty good so far. We'll do, I think we'll do this here. We got 1, 2, and 3, yeah? I want to start getting some things here. So, normally I wouldn't play Crack, but I think in non-devotion, Crack's kind of good here. In this meta too, there's a lot of cards that hold orders. So being able to play something like this and just get rid of some of those engines could be actually valuable. I do want to take away the carryover. An idea that I have is something like this. I think leader charges early are important just because they're going hard with theirs. If they're doing movement, we'll play unranged. It's not going to affect it here because it's a human.
Humans are scum. I prefer L. War.
We got 5. I think we can afford to do that, really. I don't want to go spending everything just to take this out, you know? Okay. It's gotta be. At this point, we could probably afford to float this. Just take away the 3. We're getting rid of all this carryover from their leader too, which is really nice. We've got the 6 here. Okay. So we just go like that. And we don't want to play this beside him. I mean, it's a 50-50, actually. There you go. Okay. So now we'll try and get out the fleet. And we'll probably do it on something that's not the tallest one. I'm okay with playing the ship where it's supposed to go. Let's just start pinging things down. I think it's better to take points away from them, really. Nice. And it's gonna damage for okay. I think it's gonna be ring here. AERONDIGHT's looking so good, right? Here. We just go for the 2-0, I think. If we could go for 2-0, we could pass. It doesn't really matter. It feels wrong not playing boat and AERONDIGHT here on a bleed, right? That's pretty huge. If you think about it though, Saskia coming out, Simlas coming out in this round is probably worth not getting that double last say, right? We can afford to play that. Keep padding the AERONDIGHT. So at this point we're at 12. That's unbelievable.
We shall drive the ape men into the sea.
1815. I think I'm just gonna float that. There we go. Alright, so we got Deadeye ambush up here next. What's nice is that we have tons of armor coming around. So we'll see how it goes for them. I don't think we'll need the tall punish as much. I also don't think we're going to need the invader as much. Two of the boats kind of sketchy, but maybe we put back one of them. Yeah. Here, we'll just start with one of these. They do a lot of spawning, so that's the only thing that kind of worries me a little bit here. We don't get the max value from the boat. This actually kind of works out as good as it's going to get, right? Taking the Jonad here. I see the vision, right? They're trying to basically take that out with the waylay.
That might even be amusing.
Nothing like some overseas plundering in springtime.
So next turn we'll lose it. Before I take leader discard or stratagem, I want to make sure maybe I clip that. We don't want to be losing points.
They can hide, but there is no escape.
Okay, we've spent a couple gold cards. I don't know if I want to go any deeper with the golds here. So what we'll do is we'll clip that, get it out of the way. And we'll chuck that away. Hopefully hits. I suppose it's not all bad. 7 cards. I don't want to stay in this one too long. But at the same time, we kind of do. Here, we'll take that out. I think we just play 5 points.
Worry not. We'll tend to your ankle biters too.
I believe that they might be holding out for a Ring of Favor. And so I think that's a good pass. Yeah, there we go. See? Now it's going to take like a Vernacial, Leader, Isengrim. Could even be a Simlas. Simlas will be 3, 6, 9, 12. It's not enough. Jeez.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to
Okay.
scorn.
That's tough. That's a tough spot to be in. Sheer tempo from us though, like unbelievable tempo. And if you look here,
We will take back what was stolen.
AERONDIGHT's at 7 after round 1. Getting scenario for free is really good. We'll dump that. Discards never hurt. Tuck that away for now. I feel like I'm supposed to just play that. Okay, so Crack's really good to see here. We've got boat, fleet with deadboat. Okay. So we got to put 1 back. I think it's going to be that from now. And probably that from now. That's a little bit better. We might pull into something we need. You know what I mean, with Berna. So, not a bad idea here. I think we're still going to play Rack first. Just to keep things looking a bit better. And it's probably going to be Holger. Just because that one's the engine. Fix the heat wave, that's fine. This is a proactive thing to do here. Again, AERONDIGHT just keeps going. That's going to be a disgusting last say. It's going to be huge, right? We get this full round to deal with that, so. Bakusha options, we've got quite a few. It's probably just going to be this from now. And they're hoping, I guess, that the big waylay is enough. The armor is going to really take away from that here. I think the easy thing to do is just dome one of those. Yeah, let's keep it simple like that. I don't think we're going to be getting a good Morkvarg here. Maybe like 2-point damage, but at least we have the armor on and to keep it safe. How many bowmen? 1. They might have one more. I think if they stack one more on melee, then we can finally use the whole Fukusha into Junid. I think that's the play. I'm going to take this here so we don't overcrowd. It's got to be these at this point, doesn't it? And we will potentially lose this ability to use that if we wait, right? There we go. I guess they get what they need. Realistically, though, we're not getting a Morkvarg that I want. You know what I mean? So we might as well just do that. They got Verno, 2 leader. The Sim last swing. Okay, now is the time to do what I'm trying to do. Here we go. There we go, we got targets here. $16 on the AERONDIGHT. Terror of the Seas, like... I think we gotta start getting rid of these problems. Unfortunately, it has to be just a random lock here. Armor came in pretty clutch. It's either Isengrim or Verno. I have a feeling it's Verno. Because they're aggro spawning on the melee row. I don't know. It's a feeling. I think we're supposed to use this then. How do you come back from that one card? It's nuts. And then I'm expecting Verno or Isengrim gets, well, it'll get pinged, right? But we can just go remove it after. This is for you guys, just showing you basically what we're dealing with here. There we go. It's been a very long time since I've seen this leader, believe it or not. It's been a couple days, I think. I strongly believe it's mill. I think people have been getting bored of playing mill, but I think that right now they're going to be playing it again. AERONDIGHT's kind of big in this matchup. I don't necessarily want to hold on to it round 1, but at the same time I do. Because I don't know if I want to take discards just yet, I think I want to put them back first, right? And I think we actually put this back too. Just because I need cards that give me value right now. You know what I mean? And let's see here. We do the best we can with what we have, right? The worst part about what we got going on right now is the fact that we've got a handful of bronze cards, mainly.
We follow Letho.
Yeah. And it's an issue.
Bury corpses.
Because they're going to be getting good hits. Like a lot of good hits. The discard stuff I don't care as much about, but
Time to get our hands dirty.
like stuff like that I do. Yeah. Luckily we're getting consistent value here from what we're doing. I think the play is actually just to remove this. It seems like we're selling ourselves short with the boat, but I really need to get some dominance here. They put down something tall. We can take care of it. If I had 2 boats, Snowdrop would die, which would be huge. Now we got it. Now it's actually set up perfectly. And we just show them we're not kidding around anymore. Do I ever take leader? Maybe we wait.
The senses can be fooled
Nice.
easily. Here's our chance.
I can't keep cards on the board. I think we're supposed to just use, and we'll dump something like that because it's too slow, and we'll just pass. We should be trading rings, but they don't have anything to play. Oh, that's actually a really good setup here. Right? You get the 1 and 2. They lock that. It plays for a ton of points. They take this here. Nine cards left in deck. We got tons of good stuff here. I actually think we pass on them. I don't think I can play into this. Because I believe that they're going to go leader Snowdrop. Okay.
We follow Letho's lead.
My hand's just too good, you know? Yeah. They take leader here, it's not enough. They don't have Snowdrop in hand. We hope they get a bad thin. They hit everything they need. We're still doing alright, right? They gotta play down to 3. They take Junned. Okay. Probably going to be that goes back. It's probably going to be that goes back.
Time to get our hands dirty.
It's pretty annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we just use this every time. Just get rid of the resilience carryover. Look at that. We keep the 2-card advantage. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Really?
An interesting choice.
Let's not get in the way of me art.
We know they have Junit in hand, which is why I'm not really in a rush to play anything else. I think we just put this down and we don't use it. Nice.
Big fella, easy.
If I'm taking just a card to play,
Coming with me, dead or alive.
so we draw 3, which I think is just fine, even if it's not a good pull. Like, we're not doing anything with this because the burn up play, we still get to keep 2-card advantage, and I think that's worth just playing a 4-point turn and stuff like that. We can be a little bit more reserved, right? We'll just play things like this. They took, keep in mind, they took away like everything good, so we still did well. It's probably just doming that. It's kind of a big deal. If I was to go into something, it's probably going to be Holger. I think we wait one more turn though, because I want them to stack. Decoy. That's interesting.
You will never forget.
We play this last.
You shall never find peace.
It's about the same thing, yeah. Except it's a little bit better if we play Holger, like 1 extra point.
No prisoners! Lead them to the sea!
We should just be good. We're up to 30 points. I don't see them doing it in 2, really.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door. We shall do
Yeah,
right.
what are they gonna do? Tibor doesn't matter. It's not Tibor anyways. There we go. So this should be difficult. This one right here against dwarves. I think that us having armor is great for protecting against pings, but I also think that it's gonna be tricky. So we'll see what we can do here. This does nothing for me here. Ring of Favor's huge for us. Bakusha, I feel like it's just one of those things you want to hold on to. And Gutting Slash just feels sad. So we'll tuck that away. At least one of them away. I don't see the line here. I'm not sure. We'll try this out. We'll go 1, 2, and we'll go 3. Just really... it's tough. We can clip a token so they can't flip it.
Have you seen a fuse lying about, have you?
Okay. I think I'm supposed to look for something here. I think either way they're getting a pretty good pretty good snipe. We'll just take that out. Okay. It's not all bad because I don't have any other means to, like, take discards, right?
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Whenever you play a pirate, cooldown 2, there's no way to speed that up, unfortunately. We want to remove that as soon as possible. Take that for now and kind of sort it out. This is something we can deal with. Like, we'll figure it out.
It's like a pink fate every passing day.
It's probably going to be Junid here because think of the value that it plays for.
Damn it! You'll never have taken this contract.
I just don't know if we're going to get around this here. Like, we're not running like an Irish Shade or something crazy, right?
Regiment in the whole plowing north.
Like we plunder. Full service.
We might have to start trading trading here. We'll try and give them ring, I think, this coming turn. Yeah, huge carryover. I think we want the round as short as possible too, right? Even though they've got 8 points on us here. Like as carryover going into the next round. Long round's not really good because the whole Brewer thing, right? Probably take the Raider next. It's a pretty good swing. So assuming I play this here, we get the force 39 minus the 3. I think we keep the lock for the Brewer. I think we gotta play something like this. We'll play it on the wrong row on purpose just so that we stay ahead. We need 8 points, don't we? Can we get that, though? That's probably my pass, though. Really? Because Jenge feels like something we're supposed to save. Nice. This is not very good here. This is not very good here. 2 boats, okay. It's gotta be Fukusha for something light, right? What can we pull? There's a lot of things we can discard though. Nah, it's gotta be like a lot of rain.
Women, children, elders, we spare none.
It's probably gonna just be we clip these. It's the only way I can think of actually getting this to work. They take a leader, okay. That's gonna be Brewer here.
Nothing like a dwarf to get you out of a tight spot.
That's gonna be the one we have to lock real quick.
Not all day. Bury corpses? Nay, feed our foes to the crabs while they still live.
And I'm just showing you guys, like, I think it's over, right? That's just how it goes with dwarves.
The morrow shall bring a better day.
So we got some Uprising up next here. This one should be awesome, I think. Right, because we're basically just anti-Uprising. We'll put back... We need discards, like, really badly. We'll put back AERONDIGHT for now. And just in case, we'll put that back. Jeez. We need more. Like, we missed pretty well every gold card in the deck. We'll see what we can do, though. It's gonna be just like laying down the foundation cards and just taking a pass where necessary, trying to defend against a bleed. If they try and bleed, then maybe we'll pull into a lot of our stuff later on and we don't have to worry about it, right? But round 1 doesn't really look winnable unless they concede early for whatever reason. That's about it, right? And because the hand's so bad, it might actually make more sense not getting Ring of Favor, like not using it so we can pull. But at the same time, we want to try and stay ahead because we want to fix the AERONDIGHT, right? That's a problem. Okay. Got 1, 2, decent play, and it's ranged. Okay. We'll just do what we can with what we have, right?
Out this mark, fella.
We have to expect Siri. Like that's definitely a thing.
Much better at that.
Okay, what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a fleet or something like that, just because I need to get cards out of the deck. And then I think we're just gonna play like a bronze, really. Maybe this one, set up in order.
Raid, we fight, we plunder. Full service.
Yeah, that could be actually the way, is just rotating out some of these gutting slashes and stuff so that we're pulling straight gold after the fact.
We'll never bow to the invader.
Wow. I'm not gonna play anything crazy because I'm gonna pass.
Or need I kill you again?
And I think that they're gonna have a really difficult time not continuing to play here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They're looking to tempo on me. I'm just gonna let them have it. So we get the 1 and the 2. You'd think that we'd get... There we go. We're pretty much down to, like, the bottom, though. We're pushing through it. Sucks that AERONDIGHT does literally nothing here. Alright, enough's enough. We gotta put some pressure on. I don't like this.
Easy there, big fella. Easy.
There we go. 1 damage card. We gotta start making this thing work, right?
We've tanned their black-clad hides at Sodden. We'll tan their black-clad
How do I
hides
deal with
again.
that, though?
Got
They're really going for the 2-0. So if I can, okay, we got to get around this defender somehow. So I'm thinking we Morkvarg it. At least they give us a boosted card.
This house will be reaping black clouds.
That's what I don't like about these types of plays. Is this should have came before this, right? Here. It's gotta be the deploy of this kicks in.
Turn to see red. Red.
Get rid of something. Okay. I'm prepared for if they boost it a little bit. We're getting more value on the AERONDIGHT here. It should be at 3. I think we have them round trapped or closer to round trapped. And we might actually discard the AERONDIGHT because I'm pretty sure anything we pull is going to be a bit better, which is kind of what I like about it, right? So we'll get it back anyways. Yeah, theirs is going to be much better here. Let's see. Bloodthirst 1. I think I'm supposed to just take this because we're defending card. I just don't want them to pad it with their leader and keep it out of reach or make it so that we have to use a leader charge as well. And then it just gets ugly, right? Yeah, that's fine. We'll take this out. We gotta take a lock. Hopefully they don't have a purify, but it would just be too convenient at that point, I think. Arch Griffin.
And now something special.
I'm gonna kill that, by the way. Here.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. If not, we can probably still kill it.
I should be splitting up, I think, realistically, I should be splitting up the damage so that we can get multiple things wounded or not inspired. But at the same time, I don't think they're all-ins enough.
Prey attracts monsters. It's irresistible.
Maybe. Because they got Boost all allies. There's 4. It'll boost this. Oh, they missed the line. It would have been the Scytheman.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn words
That's fine.
We shall do it my way.
There's probably a better way we could have played that round, but I think it was very good as far as like preserving resources. We got them to go all in on just about everything, and we're just doing decently here. I think we'll just put that back. There we go. Coral into very well anything is going to be good. We'll just put this down.
Look closely, kiddos, on thy courageous mother.
This one's just over, I think. They take that, that's fine. Sure.
I suppose, and the end.
Out of all the ones I could have pulled, I think that's alright. You know what? We'll go into Burna off the Fukusha, because the odds are just so high, right?
How can be just as treacherous as the sea?
We know their last card. You can pretty much remove it. Yeah. There we go. Alright, so we got some kind of Arachas swarm here, right? I don't think it's widespread swarm. I think it's going to be point slam, right? Just because it just feels like that's kind of the direction things are going. Giving these armor is going to be huge for getting rid of some of that swarm. I don't think slash is going to be that great. I don't know if terror is actually going to be that great either in this matchup. I mean, we could pad it for sure. Maybe we dunk one of these back, actually. Makes you wonder why they have dagger. This plays into a dive, doesn't it? Maybe it's actually something like this.
You're coming with me, dead or alive.
Because I don't know how much we're going to really lock in a game like this. I guess here.
Dare start with me? I am born of the sea.
We'll just start chipping away at these, right? Take a heat wave on it. Good call. Yeah, we got to get rid of some of them before just before they do anything with it. We'll get both boats out. I think the winning condition here is getting a last say on like a Glusty, right? Yeah, we'll just take that. Get rid of that one. Then when they start to tempo up, it's when I'll start to come tempo up. I just want to get rid of these two before I start going and taking Coral Burna. Just obviously because we want to make sure we don't ruin our situation here. Alright, so we'll take that out. We'll take that out. We'll take this one here. And then we'll start playing around Lacerate, I think. We'll start playing on melee row after this.
Not getting in the way of me axe.
AERONDIGHT's actually looking pretty good. Here. Take that away, because glusty food, right? Probably just ping and dump something like that. See if we can get some more value on the terror. We're sitting comfortably. And then if they go and they push, well, we'll just take this with this and one other that we draw. We'll keep this. We'll play ring shortly. I would imagine that they're probably going to take ring right now to try and look for a pass if they're running it. And then that's where we just come in with ours counter. And we'll take it on something that's already... Okay. Incredible hand. I think we try and bleed him to the ground, really. Nice. Nice. Well, not really. We'll dump the slash here. Junid could be really good into something like... Let's see. Into something like a griffin, right? I think I'm going to dump that. That's kind of nice to see. We'll just float this.
Very corpses. Nay, feed our foes to the crabs while they still live.
We bleed because the AERONDIGHT, don't we? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him. It's a big swing. I would imagine that they probably have Mamuna. Just because it's something I can play. This is like the situation to be in. We just pass on them here, get card advantage. Yeah. Huge. AERONDIGHT boat raider. Let's dump the boat. I don't know. Even though I don't see Fukusha here, it's fine. I think we're just going to play it out. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm going to take this. And then I'm probably going to take my discard. That's fine. It's dealing for 8. We need to deal for 9. It's probably going to be this. It's not a good, like, if they have dive, we're in trouble, but if they have dive, we have so many points we're sitting on here, so I don't think it matters. I'm going to put down Burna anyways. Okay, that's not a big deal. Let's see what Burna grabs here.
Stand before
There
the
we go.
queen
So Glusty
Skellige.
just gets taken out. We'll do the 1 and the 2. We'll do the boat, the raider. Yeah. I think it's going to be Glusty. I think what they had in mind was a Kiki round. And then I think they wanted to do a Glusty round, but I could be wrong. It looks like I'm wrong. Let's hold on to everything. Could be like maybe Triss or a Yen or something. Yeah, for that reason, let's take some tokens out.
Praying to your gods? They wouldn't dare cross me!
Okay.
Burn the hole! Fell the tree! Anything shiny! Plunder!
Yeah, we just got it here. That's fine.